Deep in the jungle, cameras keep rolling, and sometimes they capture things that shouldn't exist. Blurry shapes, unnatural movements, creatures no scientist has been able to name. These are real recordings, filmed by explorers, locals, and drones, where the forest reveals something watching back. In this countdown, the clips are ordered from the least disturbing to the ones that push fear to its limit. Stay until the end. Because the final case is so unsettling, many believe it was never meant to be seen. Number 15. In the vast wetlands of the Pantanal, a camera records something lurking at the river's edge. It looks like a shadow, a dark mass barely distinguishable from the water itself. Then it moves. What appears on screen is a black caiman, one of the largest and most powerful reptiles still alive today. This apex predator can reach up to 6 meters in length, with a body built to dominate its environment. Its dark skin allows it to disappear completely into murky water, making close encounters almost unheard of. Very few people have ever seen a black caiman of this size from such a short distance. Most sightings happen at night. Most end before anyone can raise a camera. What makes this recording unsettling isn't just the animal's size or reputation. It's the fact that it doesn't flee. It remains still, watching from the shore, as if fully aware it's being observed. In a jungle where survival depends on staying hidden, this ancient predator had nothing to fear. Number 14. Deep in the heart of the Amazon, fishermen describe something moving beneath their boats. Not a wave, not a current, but a presence large enough to bend the river itself. Locals call it the mother of the water, a colossal serpent said to live below the surface, so massive it could swallow an entire boat whole. Witnesses claim that when it moves, the river rises unnaturally, the water swells, the surface trembles, as if something enormous is passing just below, unseen. Some believe this could be an anaconda of impossible size, far larger than anything documented by science. Others insist it's something older, a creature tied to the river long before humans arrived. No clear footage exists, no body has ever been recovered, only testimonies, and stretches of water locals refuse to cross. In the Amazon, the river doesn't just flow, sometimes it watches back. Number 13. Deep in the Peruvian Amazon, scientists uncovered something no one expected to encounter again. Buried beneath ancient sediment, a massive skull slowly emerged from the ground. It belonged to a giant river dolphin, measuring over 3 meters long, a species believed to have vanished millions of years ago. The fossil was discovered far from the modern river, in what was once a prehistoric water system. Researchers identified it as Pebenista yacuruna, an ancient apex predator that dominated South American rivers long before humans existed. Its sheer size dwarfs today's river dolphins, pointing to an ecosystem far more extreme than the one we know. What unsettles many isn't only the scale of the skull, it's the way the fossil appears to stare back, as if something from another era briefly crossed into ours. The discovery forces scientists to rethink the Amazon's ancient past, and it leaves behind a disturbing question. If something this enormous once ruled these waters, what else might the jungle still be hiding? Number 12. Deep in the Congolese jungle, a stationary camera captures something crossing a narrow trail. At first glance, it looks like a shadow moving too low to the ground. Then its shape becomes clearer. Locals call it Jiba Fofi, a legendary giant spider said to still inhabit the darkest parts of the rainforest. Stories describe it as massive, fast, and capable of overpowering animals far larger than itself. According to witnesses, this creature doesn't hunt in the open. It waits. It blends into the forest floor, emerging only when something crosses its path. The footage is brief and unclear, but unsettling. The movement is deliberate, low, unnatural, too large to be a known spider, yet too coordinated to dismiss easily. No confirmed specimen has ever been captured. No physical evidence officially exists. Only grainy recordings and generations of warnings passed down by those who refuse to enter certain trails. In the Congolese jungle, some paths are avoided for a reason. Number 11, 5:39 p.m. Bhitarkanika mangroves, eastern India. The last patrol heard something dragging through the mud, an uneven rhythm, like multiple bodies moving together. As they approached, crabs fled in a straight line. Then something surfaced, spraying warm mud. It looked young, but large. An amphibian-like body, reptilian forelimbs, curved claws, and oily gray-green skin, unlike any known species. Its head was flat and wide, eyes set too far apart, with crooked teeth, some still bleeding. It made no sound. It turned slowly toward the camera. Its stare felt deliberate. When the patrol backed away, it surged forward with unnatural speed. The mangrove went still. Water dropped slightly. Insects fell silent. Without warning, it sank back into the mud. Only steam, a deep root mark, and failed sensors remained. Most of the drone's memory was erased. The next day, an elder warned the place should be avoided. "Not everything born in the mud belongs to this time," he said. "It wasn't running, it was learning how we move." Number 10. An explorer shared a photograph taken deep in the jungle. At first, it looks like dense foliage and shadow. Then, a shape stands out. A giant primate-like figure, partly hidden among the vegetation. Its proportions seem off. Its face appears disturbingly human, its gaze fixed toward the camera. Some suggest an unknown primate species, adapted to remain unseen in remote terrain. Others argue pareidolia, light and leaves forming a false image. No follow-up photos exist. No physical traces were found. Only a single frame open to interpretation. What makes the image linger isn't what it clearly shows, but what it almost reveals. In jungles where depth deceives, the line between illusion and discovery is thin. Sometimes, one photograph is enough to leave the question unanswered. Number 9. Archival footage from 1987 shows a flight over the Amazon turning strange. The recording is calm until something bright rises from the treetops. Crew reports describe a glowing object surrounded by rings of light, emitting intense beams. It hovers briefly, matching the aircraft's path. Moments later, instruments fail, gauges drop to zero, turbulence hits. Communication is lost. The footage cuts out without explanation. The pilot later regains control and lands safely. A follow-up team returns to the coordinates. They find a perfect circular clearing in the canopy. Nothing like it is reported again. No official conclusion follows, only partial footage, and a location briefly altered, then reclaimed by the jungle.
No reflection. Stand by. Object moving. It's rising. Mayday. Mayday. We're losing altitude. Command.
Number 8. Deep in the jungle, heavy machinery lifts something massive from the trees. At first, it looks like a fallen trunk. Then the shape becomes clear. A colossal anaconda, stretched and covered in mud. Witnesses estimated at over 10 meters, far larger than most documented specimens. As the excavator raises it, the body moves, slow, heavy, as if not entirely lifeless. The footage is brief and chaotic. No clear scale, no follow-up. Some suggest perspective or muscle spasms. Others aren't convinced. In the jungle, not everything that stops moving is finished moving. Number 7. 10:47 a.m. Tapajós River, Brazilian Amazon. Researchers felt their net snag near a river bend. They assumed it was a caiman. Light rain fell. The air felt heavy. When they pulled it aboard, silence followed. The upper body looked humanoid, hairless, pale, smooth. It wore a torn t-shirt. Its face was blank. Only round black eyes stared back. Below the torso, the body changed, scaled, massive, a tail like an impossible blend of anaconda and giant crocodile. One man reached for a pulse, another stopped him. The creature was already watching. For nearly 30 seconds, the river stopped. Chains began to rust. One cracked. The creature never fought. It exhaled a humid breath, fogging the goggles. Then it slipped back into the water. No one said it came from the river, a witness later said, only that it was returning to where it belonged. Number 6. Local biologists were called after wildlife suddenly vanished. For 5 days, no birds, no caimans. The mangroves felt empty. As their boat entered a narrow channel, the silence thickened. An assistant, Jefferson, pointed his phone at the water. Something began to surface, just centimeters from the hull. It was enormous. A curved ridged mass rose first, lined with symmetrical spines. Its skin looked like wet leather. Deformed fins expanded and contracted, as if breathing. There was no face, but the surface pulsed. It brushed the wooden boat. The boards creaked, shook. No one moved, no one spoke. Then bubbles erupted. Sensors failed. The compass spun. Jefferson's footage broke into static, then black. The creature made no sound. It didn't attack. After a few seconds, it sank, straight down, like a living stone. The video was partially recovered from the cloud. No local copy ever opened. Jefferson never filmed again. He now repeats the same line at dawn. It didn't come out to feed. It came to see if we were ready. Number 5. A drone above the Amazon captures something moving fast between the trees. At first, it looks like a distortion in the canopy. Then its shadow appears, wide, heavy, with a shape similar to a bull. Broad shoulders, lowered head. No known animal matches that silhouette at this scale. The movement is controlled and unusually fast. Branches bend as it passes. The drone struggles to track it. The figure slips in and out of cover, never fully visible. Some suggest shadow distortion or perspective. Others point to the consistent shape across frames. No sound, no tracks. What remains is the footage, and a shadow that doesn't match anything documented. In a jungle where scale is deceptive, one question lingers. What runs like that, and casts a shadow that large? Number 4. On a jungle road, a recording begins with confusion. Headlights cut through the dark, and something impossible appears. Across the asphalt lies what looks like a 3-headed serpent. Each head moves on its own, reacting to the light. The people filming step back. Breathing turns uneven. No one gets closer. No one explains what they're seeing. The footage is brief and shaky. No clear scale, no follow-up images, just seconds that resist explanation. Some suggest overlapping animals or visual distortion. Others note the heads move in sync, connected to a single body. Nothing like it was reported again. No investigation followed, only a short encounter where fear replaced certainty. In the jungle, some things appear only long enough to be remembered. Number 3. In the Ecuadorian jungle, a group of men filming from a small wooden dock notice a large reptile approaching the shore. It looks like an ordinary lizard emerging from the water. Then something feels wrong. Rising from its back is a distinct dorsal fin, rigid and triangular, a feature more commonly associated with sharks than any known reptile. As it moves closer, the creature lifts its head and opens its mouth wide, revealing a size and posture that immediately trigger panic among the witnesses. The men begin to retreat, voices rising, unsure of what they're looking at. The footage is brief and unstable. There's no clear scale reference, and the angle makes precise identification difficult. Some argue it could be a crocodilian scene at an unusual angle, with lighting and perspective exaggerating the fin-like shape. Others point out how clearly the dorsal structure stands out above the water, stiff, centered, and unlike anything typically observed in the region. No follow-up sightings were reported at the location. The clip ends before any contact occurs. What remains is a moment of hesitation, where a familiar animal form briefly crossed into something harder to explain. Number 2, a viral video spread rapidly across social media, showing what appeared to be the fresh body of a Tyrannosaurus rex lying in dense jungle terrain. The images were brief, unsettling, and hard to contextualize. The creature's size, posture, and skeletal structure closely resembled that of a Tyrannosaurus rex, an animal believed to have gone extinct 65 million years ago. Almost immediately, theories exploded online. Some suggested secret cloning experiments. Others pointed to an elaborate prop or digital manipulation. No location was officially confirmed. No additional footage followed. What made the clip linger wasn't its clarity, but its realism, the way the body rested, the way the jungle seemed to surround it naturally. With no explanation and no follow-up, the video faded as quickly as it appeared, leaving behind a familiar question in this countdown. At what point does something impossible stop being dismissed and start being quietly ignored? Number 1. In the jungle, a brief video shows several men moving through dense vegetation. The camera is close. The terrain is uneven. The moment feels controlled, but tense. At the center of the frame, they are guiding a large creature. Its body is covered in long, dark fur, heavy and low to the ground. There is a rigid structure resembling a mask or frame, with exaggerated features and a wide opening where teeth are clearly visible. 2 men hold it from the sides. Another walks ahead, watching the path. There is no visible struggle, no sudden movement. The creature advances slowly, step by step, as if being led out of the forest rather than captured in a rush. No dialogue explains what it is. No context is given. The clip lasts only seconds. It doesn't show where they came from or where they are going. It only shows this: men deep in the jungle, escorting something that doesn't clearly belong there.